Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 39 of the Greatest Attorney 2 Resolve. Last time, we did another dance of deduction, and we determined that rather than Holmes' theory of the room experiencing some sort of gravity warp, everything going upside down, going on the ceiling, instead, basically, Enoch Drebber was tearing the place apart to find a safe code because he wanted to hide in the safe, and we are going to now find him in the safe. By opening the safe, you mean?
What else? Let's see. The combination was 1432582.
I knew that! Alright then, here goes. You found me, but you will regret that now. Prepare to initiate TikTok dance sequence. That is right, I invented the robot and the breakdancing. Those are the dark arts I perfected in my laboratory. Yeah, one of the best themes in this to come out of the Ace Attorney series, in my personal opinion. Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume. Correct. You better start talking. You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built.
And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tuspel's as well.
Oh, that was what we call... That is what we call a devious lick. I have created the devious lick, for you see, I am a TikTok bot from the future. Whereas I would be delighted to answer your many questions. I have a bad esteem, so I frankly don't give a damn. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. Deactivate?
Your parcel?
I prefer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position. I filled it with Tide Pods, so when he explodes, the Tide Pods will go into your eyes and your mouth, and you will be very disgruntled.
Ah!
Ha ha ha, I see. Stunned silent. You're all gearing up to die with me then.
No!
You will now be imprisoned to the TikTok mainframe.
Mr. Sholmes! With only 7 seconds to spare!
That was too close for comfort! I've got 1 foot in the grave already! That was too close for comfort. I've got 1 foot in the grave already. Oh, you're trying to help us get killed? Oh, get us killed!
Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-alerting, can't they?
Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave, but you need not worry about dying. After all, God doesn't want me and the devil is afraid of me, and for good reason. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist!
Phew, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Otherwise, he may get Susanna takedown. Let's present. Wow, we listened to Enoch Drebber's badass theme. It might surprise you to learn that I'm actually a lawyer from the Empire of Japan. I detest lawyers. They wield so-called special powers in an attempt to grind down our freedoms. I know about them. I have seen into the future. I have seen the Magatama, and I have seen the creepy, sad little staring boy who stares at people until they give up. But frankly, if he tried to stare into my soul, I would stare right back, and I would make him suffer. He would be like, oh no, Enoch Drebber has entered my mind. And frankly, I would not be trapped in his hellscape. He would be trapped in my hellscape. There would be no escape. I would be in his head. You see this face that I am currently giving him? Frankly, that is the face that I would be haunting his dreams with. Yes, let me be quite clear. I detest lawyers very much. Any chance 2 negatives make a positive? No, they do not make positives. Mr. Drebber, look at this, please. Do you have anything to say about it? Can I smoke it? Are these strange mechanical movements supposed to be some sort of answer? This is me perfecting the greatest dance technique known to man, the robot. Mr. Drebber, look at this, please. Okay, we can't do that. Yes, let's make him dance. Dance to his own theme. Da 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 da. The fact that he's ahead. And I just realized that we can now investigate the head. Let's see what the head has to give to us. Da 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 do. Da 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 da. Spin the head around and make sure that it goes around because we will spin it so much directions. Hooray. Da da da. Mr. Drebber, look at this, please. Okay, he doesn't even want to talk about a science trophy. Okay, Drebber's photograph. Okay, we can now present anything else to Enoch Drebber. Enoch, come on. Can we get some stuff? I still can't believe we were nearly blown up.
What was that sideways glance in aid of, Mr. Naruto?
I thought that deducing meaning from the movement of people's eyes was your specialty, Mr. Sholmes.
Never mind that now. Let's see what Mr. Drebber has to say for himself.
Okay, apparently everything. Okay, we checked everything out, apparently. Ah, come on, I want to talk. What happened here? What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in the air, so precisely what it seems. Yeah, well, we'll be giving you a thorough going over, don't you worry, Drebber. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling in the other room, I knew it was time to bolt.
Whistling? Ah, that would have been me. Ow! For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today.
You, Holmes! You're the reason my blood pressure is through the roof! You're the reason why I have higher blood pressure than a freaking bump! No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly I must have screws, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. We also met a rope over by the wall. Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So, I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe.
And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters.
The shoe was not sharp enough.
And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe,
having first set this parcel ticking. Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. Got that which you have you? Hiding yourself, Rob? Hiding right beside a ticking time bomb? Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion won't leave a scratch on it.
So in fact, the safe was the only safe place.
Precisely.
But once you climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again.
I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within.
Ah, so it is.
I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up? No, that was unforeseen. What do you mean? I was trying to make it the dance floor so I could do the robot in peace. Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. Ah, I calculated the time required for return to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works. All of you, outside, grass now.
Is something wrong, Gregson?
No, Holmes, nothing's wrong. I just was almost blown up by a bomb because of you, that's all.
Do I have something on my face? Besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth.
I think we have a fairly good idea of what's going on here now. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Hairbrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Grey Exhibition, and the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the Professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection, after all. That's enough. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here. Oh, yes, well, Dr. Scythe again. So the forensics investigation team is here. And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer to access him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once.
My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe?
Hello, Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe?
If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell, you...
Get out.
But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruto!
Yes?
It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today.
But Mr. Sholmes!
Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands.
I said get out. Now. All of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. But I'm lovable! Understood. Well, I'll just say one thing before I head off. Everyone here in this room needs to touch grass. I swear, what about the only normal one? First off, we have Hairbrain, who's basically Mr. Fiddle in Diddle Book, and also with his instantaneous kinesis teleportation machine and his screwdrivers. Then we get Enoch Drebber, who's basically just putting time bombs on in safes and doing the robot. And then we have Sholmes just being Sholmes. And now you, really all of you, outside on the grass, touch it. I want you all to touch the grass. If it wasn't for this lord and his companions, we'd never have found this place. And the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There was time bombs in here. That this lot is armed. Inspector. Cuh. Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Drebber? Ah, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You are quite right, of course. You did this on the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that one.
What are you? That one? Yeah, you mean?
Cuh. And then everyone died. The end. It was an hour later that we heard the news. of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition, Professor Hairbrain's invention and all of its secrets were blown away forever. To be continued. No, we don't want to save the game. Trial time. 24th of October, 9:11 a.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber.
Good morning to you, Mr. Naruto.
Good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings?
I hope so. I should be. Even I, with nothing left to. Good morning, my dear fellows.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're here.
Why, naturally, a true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friends in battle at all times, or rather when he feels like it.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'll see you later then. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today.
Yes, do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again. Yes, I will. I realize it was a mistake, but my dear fellows, I must interject.
Oh, you're still here, Mr. Sholmes? What's the matter?
Surely you overlook some praise, have you not? To be cast in my direction,
Sorry, I don't follow.
Must I spell it out? I, the great Sherlock Sholmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclamation, arose at some ungodly hour to be here now, first thing in the morning. A miracle, you must agree.
Well, I must agree then.
As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. Iris had to employ her full gaunt of tactics, including a big spiked punching glove that she used repeatedly on my crotch. She pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched and kicked me from the bed. All in places that should only be treated gently. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend on my face, and at last I was bestirred. Granted, my skin was melting off on the right side of my face, but there's nothing that can't be fixed with a little makeup. Oh my, Iris has been busy.
Iris doesn't have it in her to go that far. She's too nice.
I sense the spirit of a fellow scientist, one who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea and torturing the innocents. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory.
I don't know who's speaking right now. What is it with Gregson and the question marks? Sorry to go in here. Oh, Inspector Gregson, good morning.
Gregson, my dear fellow, why the grim expression at this delightfully early hour?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grimmer expression,
Dear me, are you going to take that insult lying down, Professor? What? I don't know!
Well, Professor. Anyways, here's the paperwork you asked for. What paperwork?
I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful.
You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this brought out of the archives. It's the professor's autopsy report.
That mass murders?
Who killed 5 members of the aristocracy? He was found guilty in a closed trial 10 years ago now. It was all done under wraps. And he was quickly executed soon after the trial. It's all in here. The killer's autopsy report has been entered into the court record. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Inspector.
Yes, much obliged, Gregson.
Us lowly law at the yard are just doing what we can. In the shadow of the great detective Sholmes, of course. As if you had any power to begin with, Gregson. It was all Iris's. Likewise, Sherlock, he's just a puppet for Iris to control. Iris pulls the strings in the city. Iris pulls the string in all of Europe. Iris pulls the strings of the world. Well then, Professor Hairbrain, this is it. Today we are going to lay all this to rest.
I wish you the best of luck, Professor. I suppose he'll be in here today, will he?
I don't know who's speaking for a second. Drebber!
Yes, we expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness. I'm so amazed that you managed to find him in just one day. I really owe you both so much.
Counsel and the defendant, the trial is about to resume. Kindly make your way to the courtroom at once. This is it then, the final chapter. Funny, my heart's racing a little. I've not felt this before actually, this strange foreboding, as if something's going to happen in this trial that I'm not ready for. But I can't let that distract me from the only thing that really matters, finding the truth. 24th of October, 9:30 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the public hearing of Albert Hairbrain, here present, who stands accused of murder. Are the counsels of the prosecution and defense ready to proceed? The prosecution is ready, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. As promised, Lord Van Zeek says his apprentice with him. His apprentice with memory loss. If I may, Lord Van Zeeks. Yes, my lord. There appears to be someone standing at your side. Ah, yes, my apprentice, and assistant. The prosecution believes today's proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably. I don't even have time to open my own wine anymore. I therefore instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of the trial, to open all of my wine bottles, and to ensure that my hallowed chalices are well stocked. I also ran over my insults that I shall dole out to my learned Nipponi's friend by him this morning. He thought they were good, and ergo I don't have to worry about them missing their mark. And the smooth running of liquid refreshments by the look of it.
The way he holds himself, the way he moves, it couldn't be anyone else.
But he's still suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we can do at the moment.
I know, but oh, this is so very hard.
It would appear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the defense of the court made yesterday. I understand you have successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene of the day on the day in question. Yes, my lord. I intend to call him as a witness shortly. Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today, are you ready and willing to proceed? Of course, my lord. I'm sure all the understanding and importance of doing... we all understand the importance of doing our civic duty.
I do so despise deception to see. I find it also very wearing. To dark a man's life with a conjuring trick. It is against the magician's code, not to mention the law.
Anything Saunders should be the wrath of God, if you ask me.
And we have to listen to what's on both sides of the fence. And that are one, not it, isn't it?
Why did this not like in my day? Wasn't like it at all. I was around to pull down my trousers and show everyone my balls. If all the parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Zeeks. Before I do, my lord, there is a report I must read to the court. This is an excerpt from my best-selling book, Fighting the Rising Sun, my eternal struggle against my learned Nipponese friend. Yesterday at the Great Exhibition Grounds, the evidence of primary importance to this case, the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine, which was installed in the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion affected by an unknown person or persons. It was what? An explosion? This is an outrage!
Yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office in the evening. I read that the machine was blasted to smithers, and the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames. I have here a photographic print of the scene, taken in the wake of the explosion. It shows what little remains of the machine, specifically a honeycomb hole. Yes, a terrible business.
He did it to destroy the evidence, did he?
That Enoch Drebber.
The court will take this print as evidence, counsel.
The post-explosion photograph has been entered into the court record.
Late yesterday afternoon, the protection afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act was revoked. However, before a thorough investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. As such, this will become a very different trial. As it stands now, with no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions, the authenticity of the kinesis machine will remain forever in obscurity. Indeed, a most unfortunate state of affairs. However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was the result of the actions of the accused. Of that we can be certain. We can at the very least blame his poor life choices. For it was the accused himself who was operating the machine, who ultimately caused its loss of control. He was laughing maniacally as he pulled the lever, like Frankenstein, unleashing his monster upon the world.
Objection.
As Lord Van Zeeks rightfully says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Assman died as a result of the accident caused by the machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters.
Names, counsel, if you please.
The engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Assman. So what exactly were these two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant.
Thank you, counsel. The positions of the prosecution defense have been clearly stated. Lord Van Zeeks, summon your first witness, please.
Which we'll do in the next episode, because I just realized that basically now would be a good time to end things off. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. Okay, my outro is off. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. I'll see you next time. Bye.